guys. Alright, it's time to talk about it. Last night, I finally got to see Return of the King. And wow. Yes, it was amazing. It was so wonderful to finally get to see like the conclusion of the story, to see Aragorn become king, to see the ring be gone, see that transformation of Middle Earth, going back to Aragorn, see Aragorn and Arwen finally get to be together. It was wonderful. So yeah, let's talk about it. Yes. What do I think about it? I mean, like I said, I loved it. It was great. I think I kind of liked finally getting to see Gollum's story. As he was, about how his descent into being Gollum from being Smeagol. And, it was kind of, it's kind of interesting. I was having an interesting conversation the other day with a friend of mine. And she said, I told her I was going to get to see the last of the movies, and she said, I haven't decided which one's my favorite yet. And I said, it's kind of funny, my friend I'm going to watch it with, his favorite is The Two Towers. And she said, that's my least favorite. It's funny. And I said, well, I kind of like it so far because I liked to see Gollum's, more into the philosophy of Gollum, or Gollum's mind, whatever. It's just like, Gollum's my least favorite character. And I'm like, what? He's a tragic character. And he kind of is. But I can definitely see where she's coming from. Like, I did not know at that point that he had killed his friend for the ring. I didn't know that, I didn't know he was going to die, but it's not saying that was a bad thing. But yeah, that was really good. That was interesting to see. I will say that part where he's like sinking, like he gets staring out his mouth, sinking into the raw fish, like my friend and I both had to look away because it was like, oh, like we were like, we can't watch this part, it's too gross. It's funny, like we both said, we're like, we can watch epic battles and it doesn't bother us, but it's like seeing like someone eat a raw fish like that, or the spider, gross, disgusting, not scary, just ugh. But yeah, so I liked that. I kind of liked it, but it also made me realize that Gollum really is kind of the villain. I thought he was kind of the tragic character, but I still think he's an example of what Frodo could have become, which is why you need your Samwise Gamgee. And yes, I think Sam had some of his greatest. Well, Sam was great almost all the way through. He's like one of the best characters, probably one of the better characters I've seen in literature and movies. He did, yeah, I loved seeing their friendship. It's just nothing like their friendship. That is like the best. And then it was really cool to see, I don't know, but yeah, and just, I was not expecting, one thing I was not expecting ever was to see how Gollum had tricked Frodo into leaving Sam, to being angry with Sam. And that was actually really cool to see. Again, it goes back into the deception and the way the enemy works on our minds. It was really cool to see that, and also about how Sam never he does give up partly because he's getting ready to leave, and then he finds the bread and realized what Gollum had done, and he just like, he's straightforward, I'm going, I'm never gonna leave him. And then I think one of the greatest lines is when he's holding Frodo and saying, don't you remember this, and Frodo is just, he can't remember anything because he's kind of like stuck in this all he can see and think is Sauron. So that was really wonderful. And then Frodo says, and then Sam just says, I cannot carry the ring for you, Mr. Frodo, but I can carry you. And I just think that is such a beautiful picture of Christianity. Like, saying, you know, you can carry your brothers and sisters. And it's kind of like, you know, kind of like an idea of the story of Jesus healing the paralytic on the mat. You know, his 4 friends, you know, just kept chugging along and said, no, we're going to do this. We don't know where they came from. And then when he's not, they're like, oh, well, guess we'll have to dig a hole in the roof. So we're going to get him to Jesus. And I think that was just really, really great to see. And Frodo. Yeah, let's talk about Frodo for a second. I think Frodo has wonderful moments all the way through. But one thing I thought was really good to see, was really cool, because he's portrayed as kind of like he doesn't really have any flaws. Maybe he does, I don't know, maybe I've just been paying attention to that part of the movie, but it was really good to see him to see him actually like think about not throwing the ring in, and like and Sam is being there like, just do it, and he's like, it's mine, and then, you know, he puts it on, and then it was actually really cool to see him fighting with Gollum while, like, you can only see Gollum, you can't see him. That was really cool. But the part where he bites off his finger, that was so gross. It was disgusting, but it was so, I mean, it's kind of cool in its own way, because, you know, it allowed them to be free, finally be free. And, you know, just, again, how Sam's like, don't you let go, and people's, can I just say, we need our Samwise Gamgees. Like, everyone needs a Sam. And, I mean, and you might have different Sams throughout your life. You might have someone who's like, you just need that people who might be like, don't be such an idiot. Or it might be, come on, I'm going to carry you. Come on, let's go. Come on, you can have my strength. Let's work together. Come on, we got this. You know. We can do this together. Okay, now let's go back. Let's talk about Aragorn, Legolas, and no. Let's talk about Pippin and Merry for a second. So it was really cool. It seems like each character, they kind of got to have some good moments, because it seems like up until this point they've kind of been the comic relief almost. Not necessarily they've played a huge role. I mean, yeah, but they're main characters, but not in the same way that like Aragorn or whatever. So it was really cool to see them get some better moments. It was really cool to see Pippin like struggle with putting on that, you know, with that eye or whatever, that glass ball that Saruman had. That was really wonderful. But again, you know, see that temptation, see the way the enemy like entrances us, and he's just like, you know, so Gandalf sleeping with his eyes open was seriously one of the funnier things I've seen. Like how he's trying to figure out if he's like awake or asleep, and then trying to figure that out. That was wonderful to see. That was wonderful to see. That was so much fun. But it was really cool, and it was really great to see them get more of an arc, because they didn't really have an arc. I mean, they don't really play a bigger role in the other movies, but to see them actually play a role, play like crucial parts of it, and just their constant, you know, just the way their determination packed into those little bodies is just, that's great. And I think it's kind of cool because, like I said, we haven't really seen them play an important part except maybe to make us laugh. Now let's talk about, so talking about something that they did. How, was it Mary that lit the beacons? I think it was. Can't remember. Which one was it? Was it Mary or Pippin? One of them lights the beacons. And yeah, I want to talk about that for a second because that was really cool to see how, like, just like one is lit, another lit, and they just all get lit up. And I mean, again, I think that's such a, like, maybe a spiritual, I don't know, it's tended to be a spiritual principle, but it's kind of like the prayer, idea of prayers, whatever it is. It was really cool to see it as such a picture of that the Christian life should be like, just pass it on, let's get all work together. Yeah. Okay, so this leads into talking about Aragorn. First of all, I was kind of disappointed, to be honest. I mean, I think he had some of his best moments in the trilogy. But he didn't have enough for me. I mean, maybe it's just because I love Aragorn and I could literally sit and, like, I could watch a movie about him and love it. I mean, maybe I just love his appearance really a lot, but I love his character. I mean, he's a great character in himself, in itself. I really liked how he was talking to, when he signed to the Elven King. Excuse me. Says, and the Elven King says, stop being a ranger of the north, or stop being a ranger and start being who you were meant to be. And again, I just think it's so, like, the spiritual principles, like the subtleties of that, because whether it's, you might be the person who's like, you're just not doing what you're supposed to do. And you're like, I might be like, you're made for more than this, you're better than this, maybe you're being, and he wasn't being an idiot, he was doing good things, he just wasn't doing what he was designed to do. And how that gave, and then seeing him get the sword back, that was wonderful to see. That was really cool. I really liked that. And so seeing his arc kind of come peak and come down, I would say, because, like I said, I think he, like, Two Towers is kind of like he's in it the most, maybe. He's in all of them. Like, extensively. He's just not in this one as much. And, but he has some of his greatest moments. And also his coronation, so I don't want to get ahead of myself. Talking about when he comes up with the idea, like, we'll keep Sauron thy and us, so that Frodo can get to Mount Doom to destroy the ring. And I thought his speech about, we don't abandon fellowship today, or whatever, that day is not this day, all that kind of stuff is just great. And to see him really step into his role as, like, I'm king, I'm leader. That was really delightful. I mean, Aragorn's just delightful. And then also, like, I guess we're going back a little bit, also seeing when he goes into the realm of the dead, or whatever it is, I don't know where it actually is, to get his, get the ones that have been cursed until they fulfilled their vow to the king of Gondor. So seeing him go, like, just charge in and saying, I'm not afraid, whatever that scene was delightful. Seeing the different reactions, and of course Gimli being a dwarf not going where an elf would. Oh. And then he goes in. That was great. That was a great scene. And also, probably one of the greatest shots of any character ever is when they're fighting, I think it's at Minas Tirith, and and the boat comes up, and the Witch King or or his cronies, I think it was his cronies, think that this is some of the reinforcements for them. And he's like, get out of that boat or whatever, and Aragorn just jumps over the side and then stands there with his sword, just like, whatever, however he does it. I was just like, yes. Yes. Oh, wow. Yes. um, it's so clear he seems Aragorn, and I don't think he's capable of being in a bad scene. And also his coronation was wonderful. I loved seeing how he's like, no, the state doesn't just belong to me, it belongs to everyone. His interaction with Gimli, I think Gimli was still there. And his interaction with Legolas was great. And then him getting to reunite with Arwen was just wonderful. How she, like, I don't think she's easy. You know, he kind of thinks maybe she's there, and she pulls aside the flag, and there she is, and he's just like looking at her. And I don't know if they say anything. Do they say anything? I can't remember. And she he just like takes his finger and is like touching her chin, and he's just like touching her. I don't know what he's doing, but he's just kind of like touching her face, and she's just looking at him. And then he's just kind of like, oh, forget it. And oh, come on. I can't wait. And just a little longer. And just pulls her in and kisses her. That was so cool. That's like hashtag couple goals. It was really wonderful to see. And they are just like darling together. Kind of makes me wish their actors were together in real life because they're so darling. And yeah, I loved Arwen. And then also, when they walk over and he's looking at, or has this already happened? I don't think this happened yet. I think he's with Arwen before this. He looks at the hobbits and they're all bowing. He says, friends, you bow to no one. And then he bows to them. That was so awesome. Again, Aragorn is just a wonderful character. I don't think there's anything about him that I don't like. So yeah, I was talking about, Arwen was wonderful. I think her arc was really good. How to see her being like more than just a pretty face. I mean, she's more than just a pretty face. She's never just a pretty face. She has some great moments. I liked seeing how, she goes and like is willing to give up her immortal soul to be with Aragorn. And what did she say? I may only live one life, but I'd have a love. I don't know what she says, but it's so good. And also, speaking of leading ladies, Eowyn was really good to see her get some great ones. Because honestly, I didn't love her in the last one. I mean, I liked her. She was okay, but maybe I didn't like that. I thought for a second that Aragorn might go with her. I don't know why I thought that, but I kind of did. And I'm like, no, he's meant to be with Arwen. He and Arwen are so much better together. So it was really, really, but it was really good to see her like being such a, strong woman, and like the scene where she's actually someone who kills the Witch King or is gonna kill him, and she takes up and he's like, no man can kill me. And she takes up her helmet and says, I am no man, and then just like, blah. Yeah, it was really good to see that part. That was really delightful. See just her like. She just never wavers in her determination. Never wavers. So yeah, let's talk about the ending for a second. Can I just say, I was not expecting that. I mean, I loved their reunion, but I was not expecting them all to, like, I was not expecting Frodo to leave Middle-earth. That scene was really emotional. It was really good. It was just really emotional. And again, Sam, I'm sure, Sam adds to it just because he's got like these, you can see him crying. He's just a wonderful actor. So yes, it was so wonderful. I'm so glad I finally got to see the movies. And now, let's talk about for a second. Do I have a ranking of them? Honestly, I don't know yet. I haven't seen them enough to comment. I will say, like, it was wonderful in the third one to see the plots wrapped up, to see Aragorn's coronation, to see all that kind of stuff. But I honestly don't know. I don't know which one is my favorite. I think I'll have to watch the three of them again to see if I like them or not. I mean, not if I like them. I know I love them. But see which one I love the most. Because they're all so good. It's not like saying anything is bad. Like when you rank, like this one is the best, this one is the second best, this one is not my favorite. It's really not saying that any of them's bad. It's just saying this one is superior to the others, in my opinion. So yes, so that is my thoughts on the Return of the King. And so yeah, it was really good. I'm so glad I got to watch it finally. Yeah, so, and yeah, I just want to say, I'm sorry if I already said this, but I think one reason, like, I love seeing the relationship between Sam and Frodo is because I have needed Sams, and I have had people who have been the Sam for me, and it's just wonderful. So yeah, so I guess my conclusion is, hey, if you have a Samwise Gamgee in your life, go tell them that they're your Samwise Gamgee, and I mean, that you love them, that you're thankful for them. It's always a good idea. But anyway, yes, so that is my thoughts, and we'll see you guys soon. Oh, sorry, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye!